WRTV 6 Indianapolis. This is Channel 6 News at 6 with Clyde Lee, Dion Willis, weather with meteorologist Bob McLean, and sports with Ed Sorensen. Now, live, WRTV Channel 6 News at 6.
Good evening to you. In less than 18 hours, the United States of America will have its 41st president.
And in almost exactly 18 hours from now, Dan Quayle will be taking the oath of office for vice president.
The celebration started yesterday and will continue far into tomorrow night.
Our Dion Willis is one of those at the celebrations in Washington, and she joins us now live from Washington. Good evening, Dion.
Good evening, Clyde and Angie. Lots of glitz and glam here at the Indiana Society Gala. Both parties will be honoring Dan Quayle tonight. The criteria is kind of loose. Hoosiers by birth, residence, or kindred spirit, they say. Well, Dan Quayle did certainly feel lots of kindred spirits today. The lines of well-wishers for a reception in his honor wound for blocks, and the wait was long.
A vivid reminder, this is the bicentennial inaugural. But for these cramped 20th century Americans, it was also a reminder that $20 doesn't buy an up-close and personal chance to meet Dan Quayle. This was designed to recast him, though, in his new image as vice president.
Winston Churchill once said that there's nothing more exhilarating in life than to be shot at without result. Here we are, ready to go, to do the work that you and the people of America said that you want us to do.
New image aside, he promised Hoosiers he won't forget them.
Having a Hoosier in the White House is not going to hurt Indiana, I can guarantee you that.
People of Indiana have been on his side, and they've been a little upset by all the hard things he's gone through.
Meanwhile, 13,000 waited outside the reception, easily the most popular event of the inauguration.
We've been waiting in line now probably for about a half hour, but I think we have a long ways to go as well.
Everyone was so excited. It seemed so special at home, but once we got here, it really hadn't hit us yet, so we're still enjoying it day by day.
Well, as never before, people from Indiana are heavily involved in this presidential inaugural, and as Howard found out, that involvement certainly varies very greatly.
For example, the opening event featured Sandy Patty, whose roots are in Anderson. Then there are the students from Quayle's alma mater. They've suspended January job internships to play and march in the school band. Dan Quayle, an alum, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm pretty proud, actually. Besides going to our school, he was a member of my fraternity, so I'm pretty proud about it.
There was the teenager from Marion who worried about her formal for the inaugural ball and the plane trip. She wouldn't let it out of her sight. Then there's the young lady, formerly of Lafayette, who's on the inaugural staff selling commemorative items. It's popular today.
Well, definitely our license plates are very popular. They're something that's very personal, and we've sold over 13,000 sets, front and back plates. A third of the items in our catalog are under $25. They go from 95 cents for a book cover to $1,195 for our Beam Eagle or our Steuben Eagle. But a third of the products are under $25.
Income goes for covering the costs of free inaugural events, which are increasing in number. Catalogs are available with a toll-free number for ordering.
Are we out of time? Hi. Well, I guess when an inaugural costs $25 million, things like that are important.
Yeah, security is also increased and a lot more free events than ever before. Right. A little bit later on in this newscast, I'll go into just how much it would cost if you were here at the inauguration, and it is not cheap, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm Dion Willis reporting live from the inauguration.
I'm Howard Cole.
All right, we'll have our calculators ready. Thanks, Dion and Howard.
Okay.
Tonight's a big night in D.C. at the inaugural balls. They're getting underway, but it will also be an expensive night and week for those who go. Our Dion Willis is live with more on that right now. Dion, good evening once again.
Good evening, Clyde. Dan Quayle is set to speak to the sellout crowd of Hoosiers within the hour. It seems that Washington really takes to this quadrennial event, the inauguration. They're hosting some 300,000 visitors. 2,000 or so are from Indiana, and 250 are some of Quayle's hometown friends from Huntington.
The rest are campaign contributors, party faithful, convention delegates, and legislators. But say you wanted to take in this inauguration of the 41st president and vice president. How much would you have to shell out? Well, first, plan on a round-trip airfare of about $430. For lodging at, say, the Quality Inn, where the Channel 6 news crew is staying, it's $120 a night. Nothing fancy, but the hotels this week are insisting on a 3 to 4 night minimum stay. So that's $360. If you're on a budget and can only afford 2 events, you could take in the inaugural parade, good seat, for $75. The inaugural ceremony's free. And if you're invited to a ball, come with tux or gown and $175. Tally that up, and it comes to $1,140.
And that's really an underestimate, because obviously that does not include food, which you would need for 3 days here. People here, though, don't seem to mind whatever the cost is. I'm Dionne Willis reporting live from Washington. Back to you, Clyde.
All right, looks very crowded, and Dionne, you look exquisite tonight.
And the cost is exactly why I'm here in Indianapolis. That is our news. Thanks for joining us.
World News Tonight's coming your way next.